The Dark Side of America. Chapter 1. The Dream and the Reality. I came to America with a suitcase, a heart full of hope, and a dream that I could become someone. I had grown up hearing about the United States, the land of opportunity, the place where anyone could rise from nothing and become rich, successful, and free. The first time I saw the New York skyline, I felt my heart race. Towers touched the sky, lights sparkled in the night, and the streets buzzed with life. I thought, this is it. This is the place where dreams come true. But it didn't take long to see another side, the dark side that people rarely talk about. On my second night, I walked past a man sleeping on the sidewalk. He had nothing but a dirty blanket and an empty cup. Hundreds of people walked by without looking at him. That was the first crack in the dream. Chapter 2. Life in the City. I found work in a restaurant, washing dishes. The pay was low, the hours long. I shared a small room with 3 other workers. We all dreamed of moving up, but the ladder was high and the climb was cruel. Outside, the streets were alive, but not always with joy. I saw children begging for food, young men dealing drugs on corners, and women selling their bodies just to survive. The city was a machine. It ate people, chewed them up, and spit them out, and no one seemed to care. Chapter 3. The Shadow of Greed. I soon learned that the American system was built on money. If you had money, you had power. If you didn't, you were invisible. At the restaurant, my boss drove a shiny car and wore expensive suits. But he refused to give us health care. If we got sick, we had to choose between medicine or rent. Big companies ruled everything. The food we ate, the news we read, the houses we lived in. They wanted profit, not people. Workers were replaceable, like tools. This was not the dream I imagined. This was survival of the richest. Chapter 4. Racism and Division. America was called the melting pot, but I saw how divided it really was. In the neighborhood, people stayed with their own. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian. Walls of mistrust stood between them. Some were invisible. Others were sharp, like knives. One night, I saw a black man pulled over by police. They made him lie on the ground, handcuffed, while his little daughter cried. His only crime was looking suspicious. I realized that the promise of equality was not the same for everyone. Racism was a wound that still bled in America's streets. Chapter 5. Violence in the Streets. The sound of sirens became part of my daily life. Every night, ambulances raced, police cars chased, and people screamed. Guns were everywhere. I read stories of children killed in schools, of teenagers shooting each other over gangs, of families torn apart by bullets. Drugs, too, were a shadow in the city. I saw young men selling white powder and young women disappearing into alleys, never to return the same. Addiction was a chain, and many wore it around their necks. America was powerful, yes, but it was also bleeding from within. Chapter 6. The Prison System. I had a friend, Jose, who worked with me at the restaurant. One night, he was caught with a small bag of marijuana. He was sent to prison for 3 years. Prison in America was not a place of healing. It was a business. Companies made money from keeping people locked up. The poor and minorities filled the cells, while the rich walked free. When Jose came back, he was broken. He couldn't find work. People avoided him, and his hope was gone. America had promised second chances, but for him, there were none. Chapter 7. Politics and Corruption. Elections came. Politicians spoke of hope, change, and freedom. They smiled on TV, shook hands, and promised a better life. But behind closed doors, they served the rich. Corporations gave them money, and in return, laws were made to protect profit, not people. Ordinary voices were drowned out by the sound of money. Democracy was supposed to be power for the people, but it often felt like power for the few. Chapter 8. Hope in the darkness. Still, in the middle of this dark side, I found sparks of light. There were people who stood up for justice, teachers who cared for poor children, activists who marched against racism, neighbors who shared food with the hungry. I met a woman named Sarah who ran a shelter for the homeless. She worked without pay, feeding strangers every night. She said, "We cannot fix everything, but we can love one another." Her kindness reminded me that the dream was not fully dead. It lived in small acts of humanity. Chapter 9. The Other America. Years passed. I learned that America was not one country, but two. One was the America of wealth, power, and success, the shining dream. The other was the America of struggle, pain, and injustice, the shadow. Both existed side by side. You could see a millionaire in a penthouse, while, just blocks away, a mother searched trash cans for food. This was the truth no tourist guide would tell you. No postcard would show you. This was the dark side of America. Chapter 10. My final thoughts. I still live here. I still believe in freedom, in hope, in the chance to build a better life. But I no longer see America through blind eyes. It is not perfect. It is not only the land of dreams. It is also the land of broken dreams. And maybe, just maybe, the true measure of America is not in its wealth or power, but in whether it can face its darkness and still choose the light.